So I haven't been riding much lately, and the reason for it is dead battery. So today, here we go, 1 times new one. I'm going to put that in. Relatively straightforward, just a couple of things to make it less annoying. Have your key. I've got all my stuff here already. I've already taken the seat off. Obviously you've got to take the seat off to get to it. So let's go for it. Your battery sits behind this panel here. That's what we're going to take off. There seems to be a lot of confusion online about these panels. They're really simple to remove. I think these 2 clips here, you just grab it, nice firm grip and pull, such as this. Easy, there it is. Okay, once that's down, it just swings down. You can see in there, maybe, hopefully. So once that's loose, swings down. Just in here it attaches. If you put one hand in here, normally you can just flick it up. Off it comes, see, it just fits in there. Next part we want to look for is this here. So obviously these have an alarm. You do anything with the bike, the alarm has a fit, wigs out, starts yelling at you. So really simple way without having to do anything special. This giant black plug here, you just unclip, pull it apart. Pop, pull it apart. That's your main fuse. So once we've got that there, okay, so once you get it to this point, I've had to connect this up to this mess here, jump battery. As soon as I turned my key on, my battery was so dead, the alarm decided to have a fit. Okay, so what you want to do when you get to this point, we were talking about bypassing the alarm. So normally with these, what happens when the power gets cut, so if you disconnect your battery, your alarm's going to wig out. To bypass that, what we want to do, this fuse here, which we've already unclipped, this is your main fuse. You want to turn your key on, like so. Your alarm disengages. Remove the main fuse. That cuts power to everything, and your alarm doesn't have a fit. So now we can safely disconnect this. There we go. No wig outs. All right. So now we can get into the battery. I'll just remove all these jumper leads out of the way. Okay. Alright, so the way these are held in, there's a strap here that you can see there, and underneath here there's a bolt. So this bolt here that you can see there, underneath this strap, we want to take that out, so we'll go ahead and do that. Crack. So we'll go ahead and take this out. Okay, so that's out. You can see that came loose straight away. And then you just pop it off here at the top. There we go. That swings down. Right. So now we just have to pull this out. It will be tight, so just give it a wiggle. It'll come out though. Look at that. There we go. So you got your negative obviously hidden in there. So now we're going to disconnect that. So get this. Just be careful you don't short this out. Just common sense. You don't want to fry anything and you don't want to zap yourself, so I have done it before. It's not fun. So once that's done, okay, we're just about good. Just getting a bit of tension because of stretching the earth. You don't get much earth cable or much negative cable, unfortunately. So what you can do, the rest of this will come out like so. Pop, off comes the negative cable. And you might, no, we don't have enough. So while we've got it here, while it's holding itself there, we'll just undo the positive while we're here. Same thing. You do get more cable with that, so that's probably going to come out with our hands nice and easy. And we just take this out. Look at that. Save this. Disconnect all this crap. And then your battery will just, out it comes. Voila. One battery. Alright, so our old battery's out, so we'll just sit that there out of the way. Alright, so the new one comes with a bunch of inserts so that it can be a universal attachment, so whether it goes through from the top, like so, whether it goes through from the top or the side, this particular one goes through from the side, so let's get this in. So we'll open up these. Do that. And here you go. Instructions. Hardware, just in case you get confused. Hardware for front mount. Use long Phillips head bolt and that. Alright, we'll figure it out. Can't be hard. Long bolts. Washers. Okay, so what you want to do with this, a little focus threaded insert for the front mount. So it mounts from the front of the battery, the terminal. You're going to push that in like so. There we go. See, just sits in there like that. And then we've got our flat spacer washer. Goes on like that. Goes on like that, and just threads in. And you'll see it'll start to suck this in and eventually tighten down. So obviously that's just to show you how it works. That's what's going to happen when we get it back in there. We bolt the terminals on. So let's go ahead and do that. So you want to make sure that the battery's the right size, which it is. Lines up with the other one. And depth as well. There we go. Good stuff. Okay, so new bolt. You have a washer and a spacer if you need it. Okay. The reason they include these is see how this is set back in here, and the old one is flush So you need to be able to mount this flush with there so it points down and doesn't crimp in like that. So what we do, washer, obviously your washer goes on, and then your spacer goes on this side of your terminal. So like that. And you can see how it creates a more flush fit there. So we're going to go ahead and slide this in, connect it up. We'll go from there. So what you want to do, put it through your terminal first, and then grab your battery and angle it in, because they don't give you much cable to put in. So I bolt it up with it where you can adjust where it sits. See, if you try and put it in, you have to stretch the cable. So we'll go and just do that now. Get this started. Right, so you can see there I've started it. It's just hard to film and wind it in and hold the battery at the same time. So I'm just going to wind that in. Let's see if I can sit you there. Look at that. Except for the lighting, sorry. So we just wind that in until it's tight enough, obviously. So it's pretty straightforward. So we'll wind this in. Alright, now that it's getting tight, you want to tighten it up the rest of the way with a spanner. Oops. Make sure it's on lock. Tighten. Alright, so you tighten that down. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to tighten the crap out of it, just enough. So you don't want to thread it or snap the terminal or anything like that. So once that's on and tight with the spanner, then you can slip it up like so, and slide her in. So it just pushes in where the old one came out of. You might have to wiggle there, a bit of a tight fit, but we'll go ahead and do that, and then that's in enough now to be able to put our positive leads on. So we've got all this mess here. We'll go ahead and put that in. That's what this spacer will come in handy for, more so on this side, on the positive side. You'll see that in a second. So that one runs in, whoops, come on bitch. That one runs in that way. You can see from the old wires. This one can run sort of like that. And this one goes in from the top. So that's why we need this spacer. So I put everything in first. So I'll just show that in a close-up. So here you can see, so you've got this one that fits in that way. You've got this one that comes more from that way, from the right-hand side. And then you've got your main lead that just comes up from the bottom and goes like so. See there, you can, hang on. If we peel that boot back, you can see there, that's why you need that space. I see that gap there, otherwise it'd crimp in like that and it just doesn't sit nice. So we're gonna go ahead and attach that now. I like to put my bolt through all the terminals first. So just like that, and then you can thread the other ones over and then you bolt it in. Like this. Then we put the spacer on and then we get it started. Okay, like that. Everything sits pretty much back where it was. So you can see that everything sits pretty much back where it was. I haven't tightened it yet, but just so you can get a look, see? And then this allows you to fiddle with where these wires are, but that's going to bolt up nice. So we'll just do that now. Find this. So then we're just going to tighten him up. Again, don't over tighten the shit out of it, just enough to create a good connection like so. Ta-da! Now that's not going to fit over great because it's an old circle type. I might, just to stop any shorting, I think I might cable tie that around. You can do what you want, but I don't want it to short out on anything, so I'm going to do that now. Alright, so that's that. It's just going to stop that from coming loose. I mean, it might not have anyway. I don't think I really needed to do that, but I like to be more cautious with these things, and that just creates it, hold it down. Obviously the problem will be if it does go flat on the road. You need to have something to chop these, but you can lever them with keys if you need to or something like that. So it shouldn't cause too much of an issue, and I just cut it. Once it's been on there, it'll probably mould itself, it'll be more inclined to hold itself down anyway. So we'll see how that goes in a month or so when I have to put it back on the charger when I don't ride for very long. So that's all in, so we're going to go and slip the battery back in now. One thing you want to make sure of, I've seen a lot of people having issues with this online. When you push this back in, if you bolt this terminal up with the cord pointing, you can see mine's not really like it, but it'll point back, like straight back towards the edge of the bike. That'll stop when you go to push it in, because your cables stick in that way, it gets stuck in the back here and won't let you push the battery in. So what you want to do to stop that, just push it around when you tighten it up. We'll give myself a bit more room there, but you can actually get it to hold down, point down while you tighten it, and then it'll slot straight in. That's a little trick there, so that'll stop you from running into issues with pushing your battery back in. Seems to be a fairly common thing happening to people. So we're just going to go ahead and tighten that up, pointing down, and we'll slip it in. Yeah. Just make sure this is point down. If you can't get it with your fingers, you can put a screwdriver in there like so to hold it down, because when you tighten this and it tightens, it's going to want to twist. So do that. Get him tightened up like so. And then we should Alright, so you can see now, it's in where it should be. One thing to note, in here, where the cable struts out the front, it does get caught. You just have to wiggle it up and down and keep pushing harder than you probably think, and eventually it'll just go funk, 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 and pop in. But with that cable on the negative terminal being pointed down, it will slot right in and the cable won't push into the end of the bracket and stop you. So just to note that. So that's that. That's in where it should be, so now we can go ahead and reattach our strap. Everything's a reverse order of removal, obviously, so we'll go ahead and reattach that now. So just back underneath here, just push the battery up, get it started, finish it off with a ratchet. We'll tighten this up now, and then we click him in at the top there, same as removal, click, and then tighten it the rest of the way. I find tightening it after you click that in sucks the battery all the way totally in. So we'll just tighten that until it's taut, which it is now. Now we've got our main stuff. Now that the battery's all in, we've put this strap back on, bolt there, right, there, right there, right. So that's all nice and tight, as you can see. Doesn't want to come out, fits in fine. Then we've got our main fuse that we disconnected before for the alarm. So you should just be able to pop that back in and the alarm shouldn't go off. Now that the battery's connected, we just pop him back in. Look at that, huh? Good. Dash light's on because the key's on. So we'll just test that to turn our key off, make sure our alarm primes. There we go. And make sure it turns off just fine, which it does. So we're done. So then you just clip this main fuse back in, which is fun to do with one hand. Alright. So that just clips in like that. Done. We are done. That's the battery. Obviously, you've got to put your seat and everything back on. We'll run through that now. And the side cover. One thing you just might want to make sure, we might just make sure that it starts first. Before you put everything back together. Just make sure it's going to work. So it sounds good. And just, there we go. Fine. Look at that, huh? Look at that. Starts up and runs fine. You don't need your, I don't need my jumper leads on it anymore to keep it running. So that's all good. We'll go ahead and shut it down. Fine. Alright, we're done. So, just the last few things left. So just turn our key off. We don't need that on anymore. Grab our cover. So cover, reverse order of removal. Sits in like so. And then there's more confusion about this cover too. It's just a firm, I just find you put your fingers there, thumbs there, and click. Just a firm click. Gets it. Oh, I shouldn't have sat it face down. Clicks it in, and that's fine. Now all we've got left is our seat. So we'll just recap quickly before I put the seat back on. Basic steps are your cover. It's just a firm pull. Click, unclicks, comes off. Now the main point that seems to catch a lot of people and they're really concerned about is because it's the electrics, they're worried they're going to fry something. As long as you do what I did with the key and the fuse, you'll be right. I've done that a couple of times now for other work I've done on the bike too. It's been fine. So you just put the key in, turn it on, unclicks here as you saw before, pull the fuse with it turned on. That way your alarm's off. I just leave the key on until the power's connected back up, fuse is back in, fuse in with the key still on, hook everything up, make sure everything runs, make sure there's nothing wrong, no problems, and that's it. So I just wanted to re-go over that alarm thing because it seems to worry a lot of people. So that's it. We'll just clip it back in again. Alright, we'll grab our seat. Okay, so seat's going in to front, click it down over the knob, pull it back, and then your bolt goes in there. So here's my seat bolt, just a Phillips head, bolt the seat back down, and we're done. There you have it. Done. So there we go, so case is on, seat back on. We look like a real bike again. Pretty easy to do. Why not save yourself some money and do it yourself, huh? Takes about half an hour when you know what you're doing. Alright, I hope this has helped. Thanks for watching. See ya.